Hi, my name's Greg from TP Photography. It's been a while since I've last made a video and today I'm going to talk to you about a new camera that I got, the Panasonic S5. So, why did I get the Panasonic S5? You know that I shoot Sony for a lot of my work. I've been using Sony for 6 years but actually I've been using Panasonic for longer than that. I've been using the GH4 for video, now the GH5, which is what I'm filming this with. I've also got a G9 now as well. So the reason is, for video, dual card slots is quite important to me. If it's a wedding or an event or something that I can't repeat, then obviously I need a backup. So I do have the APS-C Sonys, great for video, great autofocus, but only single card slots, so that rules them out. I could get another A7 III. Now why another, you say, if I've already got one? Well, the reason is I'll often be doing photos alongside my video work. So if I'm photographing a wedding, I might also be videoing that, which means that I need additional cameras, which is where at the moment I've been using the GH5, G9, and sometimes the Sonys as well as additional cameras with a Ninja on top. But going forward, what I wanted was, you know, the advantage of the dual card slots. Ideally, I would like unlimited recording, like on the A6400 and the GH5. Now, my options in the Sony land for that were the A7R4 or the A7S III. Now, for me, the A7S III, great camera, but you know, for the amount of dedicated video that I do, probably a bit overkill. You know, I've had 4K for years with the GH4 and with the Sonys as well. Even had 4K 60 with the GH5, G9, but I've never really used the faster frame rates. So, you know, although that'd be nice to have, not really a must-have. So that kind of was pushing me towards the Panasonic S5. So the S5 has dual card slots and will do 4K 60, albeit in an APS-C crop. But you know, that's not so much of a problem. If I really do need it, then I can probably position myself in such a way that the APS-C lenses are available to me should I need to do that. So that was kind of my thinking as to why the S5. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, oh, Panasonic, oh, we all know how bad the autofocus is on that. Now, in reality, in stills photos, fantastic, really fast to focus. Although the tracking might not look like it's tracking as well as the modern Sony cameras and things, then actually it works really well. So I did some photos of my lad on a rope swing with the S5 and H5 1.8, worked really well. So, you know, more than happy with the autofocus tracking performance in stills mode. So that gives me an extra backup stills camera, which, you know, wasn't really the main reason for getting it, but you know, something like the A7S III with 12 megapixels means it's really going to be a dedicated video camera, and being twice the price of the S5, it's then, you know, a lot of money to spend on something that is literally only going to ever be used for video, whereas the S5, whilst also more cost effective, gives me a few other nice things like this kit 20-60, which, you know, I'm always, when I'm doing videos of ceremonies and things like that, I'm almost on the border of wanting an ultra wide, but I just don't use them enough to justify getting a dedicated one. So the 20-60 works out really well there, because it means that I can just stick that on the camera and it gives me the wide if I need to, and a little bit of tele if I need it a little bit more. And then I got the 85mm because then that gives me a bit more reach for speeches, talking heads and other things like that. Which is absolutely fantastic. So I've talked a little bit about the autofocus, that's perfectly great, but to be honest, for video a lot of the time I will focus and then just turn it off, because you know, it's great if you want it to be tracking, but for my usages, wedding ceremonies, speeches, then you know, people aren't really moving that much, so just the ability to be able to focus quickly and accurately in low light and then lock off the focus is way more important than being able to track. Those times where I do want to track, then the Panasonic's okay. I wouldn't say it's as good as the Sony when it comes to tracking, but you know, for the things I use, I don't really need the tracking. Now in terms of video quality, you know, the S5 is very good for video quality. It gives me 10-bit, which I don't get on the Sonys, although I'll probably not really use that very much because I don't do much grading afterwards. I tend to sort of shoot with a fairly contrasty profile so that I don't have to do much editing with the footage afterwards, which is again perfectly fine for me. If I did want to go down that route, then again the S5 is probably better than an A7 III or an A7R4 because it lets me do the raw video output to a Ninja 5.9K I think it is. So if I did want to go down that route, I've got some future proofing in terms of where I want to go on that side. Battery life seems great. The only slightly annoying thing is that it's a new battery over my GH5s and G9s. I can use the battery from the S5 in those, but I can't use it the other way around. A little bit annoying, but you know, not the end of the world. I don't imagine that I'll be going through loads of batteries, especially given you can power it via USB-C, which is definitely a nice advantage over the GH5. You can do that with the Sonys as well, but it's nice to see it added onto the Panasonic. Going back to the image quality, you know, I've not really been able to see any real difference. It's absolutely fantastic. It does give me that option in terms of if it is really dark, then obviously the advantage of the full frame sensor is that we'll get better ISO performance. But to be honest, I've not really been disappointed with the Micro Four Thirds system. You know, one good thing about shooting video is that you're at a relatively low resolution compared to stills, so you're not really zooming in. The quality is more than good enough for anything that I've ever wanted to do. Yeah, so if you're looking to choose between the Sony and the Panasonic, if you're going to do a bit of video and stills, then I'd say both are great systems. I'd say the Sony has an advantage when it comes to lens choices. Absolutely loads of choices here now for Tamron, Samyang, lots of great value lenses that you can get for the Sony. Good lenses for the Panasonic as well. You're just a little bit less option and the price are a little bit higher because you're looking at either own brand Panasonic lenses or you're looking at the Sigma Art lenses, which whilst great are still a lot higher than some of the third-party options you get for Sony. In terms of image quality, not really much to choose between them. If you need more than 30 minutes, then you know the S5's a no-brainer because you can do as long as you want. No real overheating issues. Not that I've had any with the Sony either, but you know, one of the things for me was that 30-minute record limit was important to me in terms of where I wanted to go with long-form recording and just stuff where I didn't have to worry about resetting every half an hour, which is always a bonus. So if you've got any more thoughts on anything you'd like to hear about the difference between the Panasonic and the Sony setup, you know, or what would be the best lenses for the Panasonic, what would be the best lenses for the Sony. Both great systems, both going to be part of my setup for quite a while, I think, you know, along with the GH5. So I'll be using the GH5, S5 and sometimes the Sony, depending on which bits. Their colours are close enough to be able to mix the between. So yeah, leave any comments, thoughts, questions, any videos you'd like to see. It's been a little bit of a while since I've made any other videos, so trying to get back into it. And thanks for watching, and bye bye.